The Lookout Mountain Youth Services Center has had its share of problems. The center has dealt with a number of escapes and was the scene of some rioting last May.
But it soon will be divided into 4 smaller centers to try to make the building safer and get those kids inside on the right path.
Denver 7's Lance Hernandez talking to administrators about the changes, and Lance, they include less use of force.
The Department of Human Services Division of Youth Services is doing away with certain control tactics. They say punitive interventions don't do anything to teach kids skills, so they want to spend more time trying to figure out what the underlying issues are behind those behaviors and then work with them to change them. It's basically a change in culture here.
We have had challenges at Lookout and some unfortunate incidents.
The head of Human Services says there were a number of escapes and a riot at Lookout Mountain last spring. Several people were injured. Administrators say drugs and not enough attention to trauma-informed rehabilitation were among the root causes.
Ideally, we would like 10 to 12 bed pods with those young people, and then be able to staff that with the right ratio of staff that, again, are there to support safety and security, but also build those healthy relationships with our young people.
You know, as we move through reform.
The head of the Division of Youth Services says moving to a smaller setting will allow staff to focus on building relationships with a smaller number of youth. He says they're also taking steps to cut back use of force.
One of those was to eliminate the use of pressure points and offensive strikes, and we got rid of a full body restraint device. We think that was good for kids. There's nothing there that is proven to work.
That change raising concerns among some staff who feel it makes their jobs more dangerous.
When you have a culture that is more controlling and punitive, and you're moving to a culture that is really focused on building relationships with kids, that as you make that transition, staff can feel like things are, like they have fewer tools to use in order to achieve safety.
Perry May says the change will actually make the facility safer.
Now, drugs have also been a problem here, so they're spending more money to beef up drug searching efforts to include wanding. She also says they have zero tolerance for inappropriate relationships between staff and students. One staff member arrested last year. He pleaded guilty to sexual exploitation of a child. Lance Hernandez, Denver 7.
All right, thank you, Lance.